You're welcome once again to today's an hour with the cardiologist. Happy New Year to everyone. And we're so delighted to have you here today. I believe it's going to be a very interesting and informative one. Um, just before we go on, can we just know where you're listening to us from? If you can just put in the chat box. Uh, Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, Kano, UK, wherever you're listening to us from, just for us to have an idea of the spread. Thank you so much. We're going to start in a moment. I think every other person that is in the waiting list, waiting room, will be able to come in as the host admits them in. We will be live streaming on YouTube. So we can also send the YouTube to our friends and colleagues, the ones that we have invited, if they have any issues in logging in to the to the Zoom link. All right, so it's an hour with the cardiologist again. We want to say thank you for joining us. Happy New Year to every one of us. May it be a very wonderful impactful, fruitful year for every one of us, and of course, a very healthy one indeed. So today we'll be looking at, let's discuss your heart health challenges. I'm Dr. Akisan Olusegun Joseph. I have on the platform other cardiologists, Dr. Donye, Dr. Adekolade, Dr. Bailey. I'm sure that we will all be able to, you know, anchor these days program and topic. It's going to be an interactive one because we want us to learn from one another, as we navigate this um, pathway for those who may have one heart health challenge or the other, what you've done, the things you want us to, the questions in your mind or the questions that, maybe a friend or a colleague asked you and you're wondering how do we navigate this or some challenges that you may have, we're going to try and address all of these things together. So let's discuss your heart health challenges. The heart is one of the most important organ in the entire human body. It pumps blood throughout the body to nourish every cell. It's actually the storehouse of nourishment for the body. All right. The heart weighs between 250 to 350 grams and is a little larger than the size of your fist. If you clench your fist, your heart is just a little bit larger than that clenched fist. Now the proviso is this, that assuming that your heart is not enlarged, because of course if it is enlarged it will be far more than that. Okay, but for a normal heart that is not enlarged, it weighs between 250 to 350 grams and is a little larger than the size of your fist. And each day the average heart beats 100,000 times. Okay, some beat more than that, some beats slightly lower than that, but averagely it's about 100,000 times. And more often than not, the heart beats very quietly, very silently, not disturbing anybody. And by the time somebody begins to feel his or her heartbeat, that is telling a story, telling us something that, oh, please attend to me, something may be going on. All right, but we're not talking about symptoms of heart illness now. We want to discuss real practical issues with one another and see how to help one another, in this journey. Our heart health remains a very important part of our lives. All right, it's extremely important. Why? Heart diseases, also known as cardiovascular diseases, remains the leading cause of death globally. Okay, it is still the leading cause of death globally. It is still a major cause of morbidity. It is still a major cause of premature aging. It is still a major cause of reduced quality of life. I mean, if you think of heart attack, if you think of heart failure, if you think of stroke, if you think of kidney disease, renal failure, where the person may need to undergo dialysis twice or three times in a week. All right, heart failure, where the person takes a few steps and is breathing as if he's just finished a 100-meter dash, or stroke, where one side of the body is paralyzed and unable to function. I mean, these are illnesses that if the person survives it, the quality of life will be greatly compromised, except, of course, the person is well treated, and then management continues from there. So it is a very major cause of death globally, is the leading cause of death globally, and also a very major cause of morbidity, premature aging, and reduced quality of life. Furthermore, cardiovascular disease is a challenging entity from diagnosis to management. I mean, there are several twists and turns, several junctions, several things one will need to do. It's challenging when it comes to diagnosis. When a patient is confronted with the fact that, oh, you have this, you have that. I mean, sometimes the struggle becomes very, very real. Sometimes it is mixed with anxiety. Sometimes there's fear. Sometimes like, hey, is life gradually, coming to an end, and all of such things. And, when you hear of, somebody suddenly slumps and died, or, a colleague or a friend or a distant friend or the friend of a friend, suddenly dies, that brings a lot of anxiety. Sometimes fear drives it down the spine of the person. These are challenges from diagnosis to management, a lot of challenges when it comes to investigations, when it comes to economic, burden, when it comes to availability of drugs and so many other things, a lot of challenges. The challenges are universal. It's not only limited to those in Nigeria. It's not only limited to Nigerians. It's not restricted to any race, age, gender, or socioeconomic class. It's a universal challenge. The need for more enlightenment cannot be overemphasized. And not just enlightenment, but a support group system. And that is one of the reasons why an hour with the cardiologist have been created. This is a community. Okay, and we want to offer as much support system to one another as possible, and that's why we will be looking at this today. All right, a healthy heart makes a healthy life, and a sickly heart makes a sickly life. No wonder the scripture says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. If you want to interpret it even physically, it is right. Out of your heart flows the blood that carries the nutrients, carries the oxygen to every other part of your body. So please, let us keep our hearts with all diligence. Let's watch what we eat. Let's watch the things we do. Let's make sure we feed our hearts with things that will help the heart to, um, do its work without hindrance and not to suffocate the heart. Right? Now, today, our focus is to discuss, with one another. We want to discuss the journey so far. If you are a heart, patient, or maybe you have, cardiovascular risk factors, you're hypertensive, you're diabetic, you've had one heart issue or the other, we can discuss together. All right. This journey so far, we want to discuss. We want to discuss our challenges along the way. You've had one challenge or the other. Maybe the challenge of women drugs, for example. I mean, I've had patients call me, and not only me, my other, I mean, my colleagues on this platform, and not just on this platform. I mean, colleagues, spread across the nation. Some pharmaceutical companies have withdrawn, from Nigeria. They've moved, and their drugs are no more available. And you hear, oh, this is not available anymore. This is not available anymore. How how will you be able to navigate? How can you navigate this particular crossroad? The fact that a drug company have left the country and that particular drug is not available, does it mean that you cannot get a replacement? We're going to discuss this today. All right. And then we're going to, try and help us to have, some form of focus with regards to our heart health as much as possible, or at least to even just to help in one way or the other with informations that will help your heart health. It's extremely important that we do this. So our challenges along the way, we're going to share experiences of how we overcame previous challenges. If you had one challenge or the other, or somebody that you scaled through one challenge or the other, if you don't mind, you can share with us just for us to learn. We're looking for learning points to make sure that everybody becomes more equipped. This is a new year. We become more equipped with how to um, take care of our hearts, take care of our health, and live in such a way that our hearts will be we will be happy, our health will be optimally sound, and then we can move on. All right, we want to share experiences of how we overcame previous challenges. I want to encourage one another along the way. There are people that feel that, oh, am I the only one? They said I have this, they said I have that, they said I have this. Well, you are not likely to be the only one. And may I even say that your case may not be the worst of all. I mean, we've had people that, were practically on their way out, and treatment commenced, and they came back. God helped graciously. I mean, the motto is still the same: we care, God heals. While we're trying to care for that person, trying to put in all our knowledge and everything, deploy everything we have learned, our skills and things like that, God graciously put his blessing upon our efforts, and the people recovered. So for those who may think that, oh no, why should I have this? My dad didn't have it, my mom didn't have it, how come I have this and that? It's not all gloomy. It's not all gloom. Things will, get better. I want to say that, people have, gone through this path before. Some people are on the journey and they're doing well. They're graciously living, life to its fullest, so to speak, as far as, things are concerned. And you can live the same. All right. It's not supposed to be a weight. If you have any weight, we are here. We want to help carry it. We want to help, you in all of this. Okay. So now, what are your heart health challenges? That's where we want to start from. So, um, because it's an interactive section, we will want to encourage that if you have anything to say, you can raise your electronic hand. We will allow you. And if somebody asks a question, and maybe that question, I mean, resonates with you, maybe you've had such a challenge before, or you know somebody who had such a challenge before, and your contribution can help that person. Please feel free. It's not the doctors alone that will answer, or help us with, the challenges today. It's going to be all inclusive. It's everybody. But before we start taking people's responses, may I just ask the host to please unmute Dr. Odoye. Let him greet the house. and then chip in one or two things before we move on. Dr. Daniel, over to you, please. So, host, kindly help me unmute Dr. Daniel.
Good evening, sir, and good evening to the house. I want to say thank you for this opportunity, and to every one of our listeners. I think it's a real opportunity to be able to ask questions that borders around the heart and in general cardiovascular disease generally, and then to help us give better perspective, insight, and understanding to one or two things that might be a bit challenging to us. So it's an opportunity to actually emphasize more on what we can do to prevent some of these conditions, and for those of us who are treating one or two of them, to know how better to take care of those conditions, from lifestyle adjustment to the use of our medications, and to also make sure we avoid complications. So I think we have the floor now to go ahead and ask our questions and also contribution in different ways. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Doye, for that. So please, if you have questions, I'm not sure Dr. Adekode joined us, but if you are using another phone, please, you can raise your electronic hand. And I'm not sure Dr. Obieli is here now. Maybe they're still trying to come in. If you have questions, you have experiences you want to share with us, please feel free. Thank you very much, sir. Please kindly help unmute Abiola Ojo Kuku. I hope I got the name. Thank you, sir, or thank you, ma'am, as the case may be. Host, kindly help us unmute Abiola Ojo Kuku. Please go ahead.
Can you hear
please.
me? Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm Dr.
Good evening.
Abiola Ojo Kuku from Yabatech. I've been a regular listener of this program.
You're welcome, sir.
Your wife, Dr. Olusegun Joseph, worked together with me, and she introduced me to this program. And for throughout the year of 2025, I've been a regular listener of this program, and it has really shaped my life, because I've been hypertensive now for over 5 years now. I consult my doctor regularly, and I take drugs as recommended. I'm also with the information I've also gotten from this platform, from this interaction. This program has also helped me a lot, most especially in lifestyle modification and the choice of drugs. I want to see this medium to express my sincere gratitude for your time and for giving us information, first-hand information about this cardiovascular disease and other related disease as relating to the problem of the heart. Well, my own is not a question per se, although I used to monitor my BP at home regularly, and I consult with my doctor at work. But I believe that this year, one of these days, I have to come around to see you personally. We'll talk about that later. So this is just to commend the organizer. I'm a regular listener, and I make sure I don't miss this program every day. Every time it's been it's online. I also listen to the YouTube, the recorded version also. So it's only God that can reward you. We appreciate what you are doing, because we know you are a busy person, and this is an opportunity to interact with you directly. So may God continue to bless you and other your colleagues too that are also regular on this program. Thank you very much. God bless you immensely. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks for the kind words. God bless you, sir. And yes, I hope you can hear me. Yes, I'm replying. I said, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. And then we wish you a very prosperous new year. And I mean, in good health by God's grace. Host, can you help us unmute Mr. David Anuku? Host, kindly help us unmute Mr. David Anuku.
Good evening, Doc.
Host, evening. Can you help us unmute Mr. David Anuku? Mr. David, I think you can unmute yourself now.
Good evening. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
You're audible, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. You have muted yourself again. Host, kindly help us on muting. Oh, I guess the network around.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe
Hello?
is the issue. If you can hear us, I think the host. I think you can unmute yourself now and speak.
Yes, I've done that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you. Go ahead,
okay.
Sir.
Okay, Happy New Year to everybody. Mine is a question, really. Thank you for all
We can hear you.
Yes, I'm going. I said mine is a question. Can you... So my
yes,
question is this. Yes, my question is this. It's easy when I started.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, when I discovered that I had the heart issues, I was weighing about 120, and I'm not so tall. And when I walk just one flight of stairs, I pant until I went.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm talking. Is the network? I guess the network. I can hear. When I discovered, can everyone hear me? I'm still talking.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I was weighing about 120, and I dropped drastically by starving. I will not say by starving, eating sometimes once a day, sometimes without snacking on anything. Eventually, I dropped to about 90, 91. But a second problem came in, and I had ulcer. So I now have to eat, no matter how small. So my question is this: why is it that easy to gain weight? Then if I now say, okay, let me start eating twice a day again, but very difficult to shed weight. And each time I add a little, right now I weigh about 95 just because of the Christmas and the New Year. I've been trying to drop. It was 98, but it's not going down as fast as I went up. So what can I do to help me maintain a certain weight at all times or steadily without fluctuating that fast? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Very practical. Dr. Doi, you want to help out?
Okay, sir. So for weight gain, usually it's due to environmental factors and also genetic factors. So for genetic factors, if you have a parent that are on the big side, there's a possibility that you may also easily gain weight as it were like that. And for the environmental factors, we have to do with majorly what you eat. Okay, if you eat large quantity of food and you don't have the opportunity to burn out those fats, so your body might accumulate much more than you need and may also make it susceptible to gaining weight. So I think the way to go would be one that I talked about earlier is genetic, which is non-modifiable as it were. It may be something you may not be able to do anything about if it's genetics, but the other side you could do something about is the modifiable area, where you could adjust the quantity of meal you take. And then I think the method of starving to lose weight is not appropriate. Your food is important, your breakfast is important, just about reducing the quantity of what you take, as it were, and also to avoid eating late towards the night. Then it's also important to make sure that you engage in exercise. For the cardio exercise, we usually prescribe walking 30 minutes, brisk walking for 30 minutes in a day for at least 5 days in a week. That would be a bit helpful to help you also burn the excessive food that you take. And then the quantity can also be reduced. Then avoid eating late at night. That will also be very helpful, and to be very intentional about what you eat in particular. And then that will also help, and taking a lot of fruits. So I hope Dr. Olusegun yourself also had some more to give more insight into this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Dr. Donye, thank you for that. Well, I'll say that yes, there's a genetic factor to being obese, and then of course there is the environmental factor, which is our lifestyle. But with very good management, a lot of weight can be shed. All right. Starving yourself, just like Dr. Odonye said, well, I mean, you are quite passionate in trying to lose weight, and we won't condemn what you've done, but we'll say that, I mean, maybe there are perhaps better ways, because of course if you starve yourself, depending on how intense you starve yourself, it may actually be counterproductive, and maybe that is what unfortunately has happened. You now possibly develop ulcer. That said, fasting, intermittent fasting, is also one of the ways by which one can lose weight. So if that was what you were doing, then that may not be categorized or classified as deliberate starving or chronic starving. Now, even if you want to do intermittent fasting, we recommend that you take something along the way. Cut down on the carbs so much, but you can take healthy snacks. Just to make sure that you don't go completely knocked out. So that's very important for us to note. Now, sometimes, yes, it's very easy to gain weight and very, very difficult to lose it, because sometimes people, even when they eat very small quantity of food, they may not be burning the energy as much. So if your job is such that you will have to sit for long hours, for example, maybe executives and things like that, you have to attend this board meeting, that meeting, this one, that one, and you have to sit for long hours. Even if you are not eating so much, because you sit for long hours, you are not, the chances of your burning, the calories may be completely reduced. And if that is the case, then you begin to add weight, because once the equilibrium is tilted towards weight gain by not burning enough energy, even if you are taking something very, very small, that will impact on it. And that's why we say that as much as possible, move more. If you've been part of some of our webinars on lifestyle modification and lifestyle changes and things like that, we keep emphasizing move more, sit less, move more, sit less. If yours is such that you have to stay for long hours, to sit down, stand up in between the walking period, just stand up, move. You can use 5 or 10 minutes to move, just walk around, just to make sure that you burn some things. And then we also talk of, convert your talk time to walk time. All right. You want to receive call. Once the call comes, once you dial the person you want to call, get up on your feet and convert that call time to talk. I mean, that call time or that talk time to walk time, walk around. If you do that, some of us were on the phone for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour. If you use that 1 hour to walk around while you are talking, you are walking, your step count would have increased. WHO also tells us about 10,000 steps, okay, per day. If you are able to do that, that would be ideal for the day. For those who say that, oh, I don't have a dedicated time, and my time is so choked. I get home 11 p.m. I leave home 4 a.m. You can still exercise even while you're doing your work. So this is very, very important for us to note. The other thing is you can, if you put your plate of rice, let's say your plate of rice is served, cut it into three portions, or three or two portions. You can start with two and then move on to three. If you cut it into two, return half, let half be returned. That half that has been returned, replace with vegetables and fruits. All right. As time goes on, you can cut to three portions. Return two-thirds of what you have, that is, return two portions of the three, and leave one, each one portion, and replace those two that you have returned, replace it with fruits and vegetables. If you do that regularly and you add exercise to it, and if you want to do intermittent fasting, but please not long dry fast that will injure you, you've got to make sure that you refresh your body as well. If you do that, you will be able to reducing weight. But if you are having issues with dropping your weight, then you can meet with, we can take this discussion to another level where we will be able to help you further. I hope that helps. Thank you very much, sir. Any other question, comments, or if you want to add to it, maybe you are able to lose weight in another way, you can share with us. Like we said, it's an interactive thing. We're going to learn from one another. I've learned from Mr. David now. He was weighing so much. He became very, very passionate about, look, I need to lose this weight. And he lost it, and is able to, to be below 100 at least, even though he said he's gained some weight during the festive period, but he's still below 100, which is something, worth the while, what sharing, and then, you can take off from there and lose the others. Thank you very much. Any other questions, comments we want to discuss with one another? Or you can ask hypothetical questions. It doesn't need to be all about you. Please, maybe you read something on the net that, they said, oh, you can drink 3 bottles of beer, or you can do this and do that. It's good for your heart health. Raise it here and let's discuss it. Or eating 2 eggs per day or 5 eggs per day is nothing. All these people that say cholesterol is all nothing. We have better research that have come out to say, in short, take all the fats and take all the cholesterol. It will help your heart health. Let's discuss so that we can help one another. If you have questions, comments, you can raise your electronic hand. I'm not sure there's any question in the chat box. Okay, somebody is saying, please, can you unmute Ijoma and Banugo? Is on the chat box that, there's a question. I want to ask a question, I think. Oh, okay, no, I think it's Engineer Olatunde. Please, I have a question. Thanks. Can you unmute yourself, sir? Kindly help unmute Engineer Olatunde Jayesemi. And then you can also, I don't know, in the chat box there is a finger raised. I don't know whether it's for question or something else. Okay, someone is also raising the hand there, Thompson Kikelomo and Adeola. Host, help us unmute Thompson first, or maybe the engineer first. Okay, engineer, please go ahead, sir. Engineer Latunde, you have the floor. After that, Thompson, Kikelomo, and then followed by Adeola. Please go ahead, sir. Oh, we can't see you anymore.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir.
This is Engineer Latunde Jaisimi.
All right, you're welcome.
I say good evening and Happy New Year to everyone here.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. Happy New Year, sir.
Yeah, I have one question, maybe one question that I will talk about. Some years ago, I was diagnosed to have a large heart. And over the years, I have been treated for hypertension. I've been using the normal drugs and so on, and I've stabilized my blood pressure. But the challenge I have now is that my 2 feet are swollen, and the swelling is moving through my ankle upwards. And the swelling is mostly pronounced on my left foot. I have done some, I've undergone some treatments. I've done echo at the Federal Medical Center, and a lot of things have been done about it. I'm currently on some medication, but the concern I have is that I want the swollen foot or feet to go down. I've been advised to always raise my feet up, or even when I'm lying down, to put them on a pillow. And you know that these things are sometimes difficult to, because at times when you sit down, you are like today, I was in church. I was sitting down for about 3, 4, 5 hours. And when I even was coming back from church, I ran into hold up. So it's like I've been sitting down for some 8 or more hours today. So I just want to ask if there's any further thing I can do to relieve me. I'm not feeling any pain. And like I said, my blood pressure is regular, 120, 70, and so on, in that neighborhood. So that's my situation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Let me just take that. Yeah, so if you have leg swelling, you may need to meet with your doctor. There are drugs that you can be given to, mobilize the fluid and make the swelling to go down. But you said it's more on a particular leg. I think I heard you say it's more on the left or something. If it's a unilateral leg swelling, then you need to do more than taking just a pill. You need to see your doctor. They need to, find out, that it's not something else, because unilateral swelling, we usually will first think of DVT. There are other things that can cause unilateral swelling, but one of the ones that can be potentially dangerous and deadly unilateral swelling is a DVT. DVT means deep vein thrombosis, and if it dislodges, it can kill instantly. I mean, we talk of a pulmonary embolism, which can cause sudden death. So if it's a unilateral swelling, I will advise that you see your doctor or you see your cardiologist. Let them assess you properly. If it's bilateral and you think that maybe the left is more than the right, the doctor will still assess you. And if there's no cause for alarm, if there's no DVT, then a diuretic should be able to do the job for you, sir. I hope that helps. Okay. Please help on before Thompson Kikelomo. Sorry, ma. Please, this person has been dropped a note since on the chat box that there's a question. Mbanugo Ijoma Ane. Please host help unmute Mbanugo Ijoma Ane Imbanugo. After that, you unmute Kikelomo Thompson and then Adeola. So Ijoma Mbanugo, I'm sure that the host would have given you the opportunity to unmute yourself now. So just click the button. That's phone icon. That's phone icon, so that you can unmute yourself and speak.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, ma.
Happy everyone.
Yeah, same to you, ma.
Yeah, my own is that I was treated between between May and July. And I've seen the doctor. But what I'm having, challenge I'm having now is that when I walk for about 5 minutes, steadily for 5 minutes, I was having pains at the middle of my heart, the center here. I don't know why. The treatment, I did echo and other things. And the treatment then was a palpitation. And I was having shots of oxygen that led to uh, putting oxygen for me. But at the end, I became all right. But recently, if I walk 5 minutes consistent or 10 minutes, I will start having pain. So I don't know what.
Okay. Are you done, ma?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Dai, can you help out, please? Thank you.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. So you said when you walk a few distance and about 5 minutes, you start to feel pain. So
5 minutes, I'll start
5
having 10 minutes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, ma. So it's better to actually have this conversation with your doctor, but just to shed some light into it. So we tend to actually characterize the pain. So the pain in particular, apart from taking a walk around, do you also notice if you try to change position, maybe within the house, you're trying to pick something up or turn in bed, you used to feel that same pain? Okay, so if the pain is felt with change in position within the house or trying to turn around in bed, then it might be from your muscle, basically. Okay, but for pain from the heart, usually it might not be tender, as in touching your chest. You might not feel the pain, but you know the pain is deeply seated there. And apart from the pain, you also have a number of associations with it. There could be palpitation without pain. There could be profuse sweating with that pain. And sometimes you could feel like maybe you want to pass out or feel dizzy, also without pain. So a number of things can actually cause chest pain. The heart is one of them. Your muscles is another one that can also be a cause. Your lungs also, with intake of air and exhaling air, can also be a cause. But marrying your symptoms and the signs the doctor will be able to demonstrate, and then with a number of the investigations you've done, or may still be harder, we help us to further tie it down to exactly what the issue is. So I think it's better to actually have this conversation with your doctor. And also another thing around the middle of your chest, people who have ulcer also to tend to feel some form of discomfort around that area, though the pain may be burning sensation, or sometimes it could be peppery sensation. The character of the pain will also help us to narrow down to what exactly the problem is. So I think it's better to actually have this conversation with your doctor. But the essence of just trying to throw light around the various causes is to look at different possibilities. It might be the heart, and it might also not be the heart. So I don't know if this little explanation is a little bit helpful now.
Okay, can I just come in a bit? You've been treated, from what you said, you've been treated for a heart issue before. Am I correct now? Yeah,
Between
so if you've been treated for a heart issue before and now you are having, we call it exertional pain. You walk for 5, 10 minutes and you are having pain. Please go and see your doctor. Very, very important. All that doctors don't have said, they are very correct. But this is specific now. You need to see your doctor. They need to do your ECG for you. There's something called ischemic heart disease, and that may just be what you have. I mean, considering the fact that you've been treated for a heart issue before. You didn't disclose what it is, and it's okay for it not to be disclosed. But I want to say that if you have exertional pain, pardon?
excuse me,
Yes,
excuse
please.
me. Oh, they said partial heart failure.
Partial heart failure. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing called partial heart failure though. But
Okay.
okay, well, maybe in a layman's way, maybe your doctor just wanted you to understand what it is, and that's why he used the word partial heart failure. Just like somebody would say partial stroke. All right. So partial heart failure, that suggests to me that you've had some form of event or the other before. You need to see your doctor. Are we dealing with a fresh thing now? Is this ischemic heart disease or not? Especially because it's exertional. The pain comes after you walk a little bit. All right. So the next question will be, if you are climbing flights of stairs, do you have the pain? If you carry maybe water or something heavy, do you have the pain? If all
Yes.
of those are yes, then you need to see your doctor. That's likely to be an ischemic heart disease. And I mean, a stitch in time will really, really save 9 in this case. So please make sure you see your cardiologist, not just a general physician or a general doctor. Make sure you see your cardiologist. All right. And if you don't have any, then you can look at the chat box and call up the number that you see on the chat box. You can call our front desk. They can book an appointment for you.
Dr. Olusegun, you're my doctor.
Oh, okay. Then you need to come for. You need to come
Yes,
for.
I have booked for tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. You're welcome. So we will see you.
Okay.
Okay. So, host, can you help me? Thank you, ma. Host, help me unmute Thompson Kikelomo, please. She raised her hand for quite a while. She's the next on the line, and after that, Adeola, and after Adeola, we have somebody in the chat box that wrote, "I have a question. I have a question." I think. Let me see. Um, Fatima Ismail, but I think Dr. Donny has replied the question. If I have heart failure, can it be done or something like that? Okay, fine. So Thompson, please, you have the floor. Thompson Kikelomo, please, you have the floor. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question or give us your contribution?
Myself.
Yes, please,
yes.
go ahead, ma'am.
Can you hear me now? Good evening, doctor.
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Okay. I believe, I am sure that you are aware that there are some brands of wine that are labeled as being good for the heart. I don't know if you've heard of that statement before.
Yeah, we've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. There are some brands of wine that are labeled, that are said to be good for the heart. But when it comes to somebody who is not a wine person and she prefers soft drinks, what effect does soft drinks have on their heart? Will you advise one to stay off it, or just to, what can you tell me about the consumption of soft drinks? Because I happen to like soft drinks, especially Coke. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Day, let me answer this one, then you answer the next. I'm not sure that the quality is around. Okay, Coke. All right, fine, no problem. But you need to watch the amount you take. One thing about Coke is not just Coke, soft drinks generally. I mean, they're filled with a lot of sugar. Calorie is so much. Okay, and if you consume a lot of sugar, because they are refined sugars, the chances of, if one consumes it over and over and over, or overindulge in it, the chances of having diabetes is higher for those who consume sodas more than those who do not. Especially if the person, if there's a family history of diabetes, it makes it even much more, easier to contact. All right. So I'll advise that you go slow on it. I'm not saying don't take. I'm not saying stop it. If you can, fine. But if you cannot, no problem. But reduce it. I mean, it's all of these things is more of moderation. If we say don't, I mean, reduce your carbohydrate, reduce your food, reduce fried things, reduce this, reduce that. We're not saying no. For example, we will not tell you no salt. As much as we know that salt can cause a lot of things, can cause hypertension, can cause heart failure, can cause heart attack, is fingered in stroke and all the rest. We will not tell you don't take salt, no salt. We say low salt. I always tell my patients, I spell it out. I say it's LOW, not NO. All right. So, if you are the type that loves to take sodas, we'll say that. I mean, you can, but reduce it. Make sure that it's not such that you take every time, every time, every time, and of course, the sodas, the more you take, the likelihood that you will add weight, because these are, it's a substrate, a very, very easy substrate for the body to work on and add, body mass to you. So, if you indulge in it so much, you are likely going to add weight. And if you want to lose weight, it may be quite challenging for you to do. One of the things you may need to quickly get rid of is, the sodas, or cut it down. Even if you're not going to stop it, you cut it down so that, if you need to lose weight, it can help you, to lose weight. It's not only Coke, the soft drinks generally, and, what do you call it? Fast food, sugary stuffs, sugary snacks, and co. You cut them down. Not that you cannot take. Not that. For example, you go for a party, they serve cake. Not that you cannot take. Not that you cannot. Take a bit. But we've got to be circumspect. We've got to, make sure that we don't indulge, so that, especially if there is history of a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, or any of those, if the person is on the obese side, it's important to note that. Now, with regards to wine, yeah, fruit wine is good. If you talk of alcohol, there are a lot of things you will see on the net, trust me. You will see that, alcohol increases good cholesterol, does this, does that, does that. But the truth of the matter is this, that when it comes to heart health, all right, every ounce, every gram of alcohol, if you drop it, it will impact positively on your health. That's what I will say. You will read so much on the net, but that is the truth. That if alcohol is stopped, it helps the heart a whole lot, and we know now that every ounce, every gram can actually add to, the travail of the heart. That's where I'll put it. Okay, Adela, you have the floor, sir or ma. After that, we'll take Atinuke. After that, we'll take Ismail in the chat box.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah. It's about this obesity that I just want to ask. If one has tried so many things, no visit drink at all for more than, I don't know, 1999 at all, and tried so many things, no fries, nothing. But the weight remained the same thing. So what do you think one can do, please? Because it's something, no physical health at all, no blood sugar, no blood pressure, nothing at all, not on any medication or anything. But the weight doesn't go down at all. Please.
Okay, I share your. Okay, Dr. Ade, I can see that you're helping to sort out the chat box. Let me just quickly answer this. I share your concern, and I know that can be very, very frustrating. I mean, if you put in all your best and you're not seeing the result, there's nothing as frustrating as that. Be that as it may, I will just suggest you've done quite a lot, and I must applaud you for that. Please try and see a professional. If you do things in a structured
Where I live, they said
Yeah.
they cannot do anything for me because I don't have any health issues. Then they
so,
only help the people that
obesity
had cholesterol, blood pressure, or diabetic.
Okay, fine. So that's not completely true. If you are obese, that's a health issue. Obesity is an illness on its own. So
That's what
if
they placed me on up to now. I've been fighting it. I've been talking to my doctor all the time. They said
so you
I'm not unless if I go private.
can I advise you that
Okay.
you seek a second opinion? If your doctor says that you don't have any problem and you want to lose weight, what is he saying? What is he or she saying? Obesity is a risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Obesity is a big issue. So your doctor cannot be telling you that you don't have any issue. So I mean, we're looking for those who have. Which other cardiovascular risk factor is this person talking about? This is a cardiovascular risk factor staring you in the face. So please, I think you should get another doctor, see another specialist, and relay your concerns to them. They may be able to, and then see a dietitian. A dietitian can also, of course, a dietitian will need to work with you at this level. All right, you see your cardiologist or endocrinologist.
I've gone through that as well. I've gone through the dietitian as well.
Okay, fine. So
I've tried one tablet before. They call it OR something, OT something. But when I went back to report and they said I should be seeing some oil when I go to toilet and all that, it doesn't work for me at all. I said I hardly eat oil. I put a little bit in my food. I've cut all that down because I realized that my mom had diabetic in the 90s. So that was the reason why I started fighting on all those things that I ignore so many things. I tried my best. I go to the gym. I did everything, but the weight doesn't go at all.
Yeah, weight can be a very, very, very challenging thing. Maybe, you see, when it comes to such things like this, maybe you should get back to your dietitian and your endocrinologist or your cardiologist, as the case may be, may need to come together. There are times as doctors and specialists, we have meetings on a patient. We have what we call, like a conference call, for example. Yes, we discuss the case of a patient. Sometimes we invite the patient and we sit down with one another, endocrinologist on this side, the dietitian, cardiologist, and the patient with us, and we look at the best way to go through this. So they may need to fashion out a program for you that if you go through it, it will work or it should help you. So this is a multi-specialist thing now. It's not just one person. Tell your doctor, your cardiologist, to possibly meet with your endocrinologist or metabolic doctor specialist, or with your dietitian, and they'll be able to fashion out something for you. Ketogenic diets is there, so many things, but they should be able to. That's why they're specialists. When it comes to real hardcore cases, these are the kind of cases that specialists should handle. Okay, you've done all your best, you've not been able to get through. Somebody must be able to crack it. So please, you don't mind, get back to your people, or you can get across to us. We will see how to deal with it for you. I promise you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
It's
very much.
after 8 now. It's an hour with the cardiologist, not 2 hours. Can I suggest that after the next, because I have called the name Atinuke, after our own question, we don't mind. We can have a second part of this discussion next month. All right, so that we don't exceed our time so much. So please, apologies to, let me see the people who have put down questions on the chat box. Oluwashina Rachel. Sorry, we may not be able to answer the question, but we will take them next week. Please, host, help me screenshot all these questions. Those are the questions we will start with next week, especially those ones that have not been, sorry, not next week, next month, rather, next month's edition, especially those that have not been answered. Meanwhile, Dr. Odoye is dealing with the questions on the chat box, but I know that those questions can be very, very helpful to every one of us. So we'll bring them to the fore next month, and then others who have questions will also ask their questions. If that is agreeable to the house, then we will do that next month. Meanwhile, Atinuke, please, you can ask your question very quickly so that we just round up. Thank you very much for your patience. Please unmute, Atinuke.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening,
my name is Tinuke Aditono. My own is not a question per se. I just want to ask, if you run a clinic around Ogba or Ikeja, apart from that in Surulere, do you have any clinic around Ogba or Ikeja that is close to my house? I just want to ask.
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Dr. Dai, do you have a clinic around that area?
No,
clinic around that area.
Around Ogba or Ikeja?
We are not yet there, ma'am. But
okay, sir.
Yeah, maybe we'll get there later. But you can reach out people that can give you a time that will suit you if you want to come.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
All right. So please, for every Dr. Ndaya, you want to say something? Maybe add to what
I'm attending to the questions. There are like 2 extra questions I'm trying to sort out.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, host, help us to screenshot those questions. Those are the questions we will start with in our February edition. And the reason for that is this. Somebody may just be on the call that, the question will help. All right, so we will take those questions next month. And then if there are any other questions, we will take them. Apologies if we have not been able to answer your question. We're so sorry about it. But next month, I promise we will do
Chinese.
Right. So it's important that we please, choose wisely. Let's feed our hearts and our systems with what will benefit us. All right. It's very, very important that we do that. And if you need to see your doctor, please make sure you do. All right. It's very important we do. And we also will want to advise, please don't skip your drugs. If you're on drugs, please take your drugs regularly. If you have any issues with your drugs, please meet with your doctor. I'm sure he or she should be able to help you out. If you have any issues at all, you can get across to us as well. We're ready to help. You do not necessarily need to come. If you have your doctor, you can, stay with your doctor and, but please, what your doctor tells you to do, try as much as possible, work together. You're a team. With your doctor, you should be able to deal with most of the cardiovascular challenges that you may have. All right. And if you don't have a doctor and you have a cardiovascular risk factor or something, please kindly make sure you reach out, and be assessed at least. We wish everyone a very, very wonderful, healthy, lovely, fruitful, impactful new year. Thank you very much. God bless you. If you have gotten value for today's meeting, please, you can just drop something on the chat box, value, things like that. Just let's know that, we got value for our time, that we did not waste our time. Thank you very much. Thanks for the input. Insightful as usual. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. All right, till next month. God bless you. Thank you very much. Got value, got value. Very enjoyable, satisfying. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and year ahead. Thank you.